Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to the second lecture of English 2. My name is Abdullah Hafiz and today we are going to start a new topic, and that topic is about being sensitive to your audience's needs. So this lecture is for the second semester students. As I have already introduced myself, I will introduce it again. My name is Abdul Hafiz and I'm the lecturer of Rif International College, Peshawar. So today we are going to start the topic being sensitive to your audience needs. So in this topic, actually readers and listeners are more likely to respond positively when they believe messages address to their concerns. So Martin Scholl and other successful communicators will tell you that audiences tend to greet incoming messages with a selfish question. For example, what is in this for me? Or if your target readers or listeners don't think a message applies to them, or if they don't think you are being sensitive to their needs, so they won't pay attention. You can empower your audience sensitivity by adopting the you attitude, maintaining good standard of etiquette, or emphasizing the positive and using bias-free language. So today we are going to deal with each and everything. Okay, the first thing that is you have to adopt the you attitude. So using the you attitude, what does it mean? It means that you are uh, actually whatever is written in this slide, I will also target those things, and further I will also explain it. So centered communication and the you attitude. So speaking and writing in terms of your audience's wishes, interests, goals, and preferences. So on the simple level, you can adopt the you attitude by replacing the terms such as I, me, mine, we, us, and ours with you and yours. So adopting the you attitude means speaking and writing in terms of your audience's wishes, interests, hopes, and preferences. So it means that you are already becoming familiar with the audience's centered approach, trying to see subject through your audience's eyes. So now you can actually, so you want to project this approach in your messages by adopting the you attitude, and that is by speaking and writing in terms of your audience's wishes, interest, or preferences. So on a simple level, you can adopt the you attitude by replacing the terms that refer to yourself and to your company with the term that refer to your audiences. So, on the other hand, use you and your instead of I, me, mine, we, us, or ours. Now look here, the same thing has been discussed over here. Just as we know, that it's a matter of demonstrating genuine interest in your readers and concern, for their needs. So you can use you 25 times in a single page and still offend your audience or ignore readers' true concerns. So if you're writing to a retailer, try to think like a retailer. If you are dealing with a production supervisor, so put yourself in that position. If you are writing to a dissatisfied customer, so imagine how you would feel at the other in the end of the transaction. So write this: if you need a quick response, please submit your purchase order request on Tuesday. Instead of this, Tuesday is the only day that we can promise quick response to purchase order requests. We are swamped the rest of the week. So what we have to do, so instead of this, write this. It means that in the right written, instead of this we can do what, we can write down like, so instead of write instead of this, so you can write this, just like as I told you the example. Today is the only day that we can promise quick response to purchase order request. We are swamped the rest of the week. So we offer just like we have this example. So instead of this example we can write this: if you need a quick response, please submit your purchase order request on Tuesday. We have another example, and that example is instead of this, if we say we offer MP3 players with 50, 75 or 100 gigabytes of storage capacity, we can say that you can choose an MP3 player within 50, 75 or 100 gigabytes of storage. So a customer will be satisfied that okay, now the language is actually in such a way. So if we look at here, if we look specifically, so we actually see something very different, and that is that of course you have the occasions and when you are entirely appropriate to write or speak from your perspective. So such as when you are offering your opinions or reporting on something you have seen. So however, when even in those instances, make sure you focus on you focus on your readers, or specifically the readers needs. So also be aware that on some occasions it is better to avoid using you, particularly if doing so will sound overly authoritative or accusing. So instead of this, if we say you failed to deliver the customer's order on time, so we can write this: the customer didn't receive the order on time. So instead of this we can use such kind of examples. So in some cultures it is improper to single out one person's achievements because the whole team is responsible for the outcome. In that case, using the pronoun we or our when you, so your audience are part of the same team would be more appropriate. If we look at in the next slide, here, avoid using you and your when doing so makes you sound dictatorially, or makes someone feel guilty, so it goes against to your organization style. Maintaining standards of etiquette. Maintaining standards of etiquette means that good etiquette shows respect to your audience and helps foster a more successful environment and communication by minimizing negative emotional reaction. So a good etiquette not only indicate respect for your audience but also help foster a more successful environment for the communication by minimizing negative emotional reaction. Even if a situation calls for you to be brutally honest, so express the fact of that matter in a kind or a thoughtful manner. So use extra tact when communicating with the people higher up the organization chart or outside the company. So here in this slide we will discuss that instead of this. So how once again you have managed to bring out the entire website through your incompetent programming. So you have been sitting on our order for 2 weeks and we need it now. Look, here is a slight difference, and the difference is your choice of selection. So how will you select some of the words? That thing actually really matters. So if you write like this, let's review the last website up there to explore ways to improve the process. Our production schedules depend on timely delivery of parts and supplies, but we have not yet received the order you promised to deliver 2 weeks ago. So please respond today with a firmly delivery commitment. Look, here is actually the huge example we can see. So look, if we look at the previous slides, so here the language that is used is completely different as compared to here. So you should speak like this, or you should treat your customers in this way if you are dealing with someone, or if that is supervisor, if that is customer, or if that is someone else. Maintaining a standard of etiquette if you know your audiences well. So a less formal approach may be appropriate. However, when you are communicating with people who are overthink you, or with the people outside your organization, an added measure of courtesy is usually needed. So emphasizing the positive. Okay, so emphasizing the positive, what does it mean actually? It means that you will encounter situations throughout your career in which you need to convey unwanted news. However, sensitive communication understands the difference between delivering negative news and being negative. So never try to hide the negative news, but look for positive points and will foster a good relationship with your audiences. So look, you can communicate negative news without being negative. Okay, before moving forward, this is the part 1. You should also look at the part 2. I'm going to make part 2 of this lecture. So the second lecture, part 1, has been completed. So inshallah the further slides will be discussed in the second video. So you must watch that second video. And before going to start the second video, let me tell you that if you have seen this video, you must make notes by my lecture especially, and by this slides. So it is quite necessary for all of the students. So see you in the next video. You must, in order to learn this topic, you must watch the second part of the second lecture. Thank you.